Hello everyone, welcome back to Olympic Foil. Today we're going to be doing a breakdown of a tactical battle that happened between Carlos Llavador and Ryan Choi at the World Championships. This turned out to be a very interesting part of the bout because whoever won this tactical struggle would win the bout in the end. So what happens here is that, for a bit of background, Choi has been very successful with the counter-attack before this point in the bout. Any attack that Carlos has made, basically Choi he's been very successful with the counter-attack. The attack has not really worked, and other than that, all the actions have pretty much been in the middle. The good counter-attack success is allowing Choi to pull Llavador short now because he's not as keen to attack, which is what he does here in this first clip. Let's watch. After pulling Llavador short, Choi starts to push forward with his own very slow, patient march, with sort of a counter-time feel to it, so that he might work off of a counter-attack with a pirate pass or something like that, not necessarily just going to finish here. Llavador's first instinct is to use point and line, and if Choi had rushed, that would be very bad for him. However, as we can see, Choi takes a very patient approach with the point and line. Choi keeps the point and line at bay with his constant beating of the blade, and as soon as Llavador withdraws the line, he finishes, just straight away. And Llavador did not get out there. He seemed to really want to constrict Choi and keep him at the end of the piece, not give him any space. So, that's the first touch. This exact same situation will then arise several more times in the bout, and we'll see how Llavador attempts to adapt to find a way that beats Choi. Okay, here you can see the stage is set. Choi has pulled Llavador short again at the end of the piece. We can see that Llavador, instead of using the point and line in and of itself, instead uses it this time to attempt an attack in preparation. However, the ref, after going to video, upholds this call for Choi. So if he's not getting the preparation call, then Llavador is going to have to try something else. Let's take a look. So notice that here we are in the same situation again. It's not on Choi's end of the piece now, as this is off of an action in the middle, but it's still the same march against a defense that Llavador is trying to discover. We can see that Llavador decided to try for a counter-attack this time, which did not. There was no touch, but it did come across as risky, we can see it played into the counter-time aspect of Choi's march. He went for that pirate pass instead of trying to finish, and it seems that Llavador, realizing this, discounts the counter-attack too as probably not so effective against this march. Here Llavador finally gets his first success. He just goes for point and line immediately after getting pulled short. It is beautiful, lands perfectly. Choi doesn't even have any complaints. He's like, bro, that was great. Here, great point. So finally a success for Llavador. However, point and line is not really something you can rely on to get you, 6 touches in a bout. So we're still, putting a bit of a band-aid over the crack with this one. But it will make the point and line threat more believable in future. So almost identical to the very first touch we looked at, except this time Llavador seems much more willing to give up ground. It certainly seems safer than trying to push in and pressure against this march, as statistically, just looking at the numbers, it has really not worked for him. So he gives it up, fades back a bit, lets Choi give him back the attack, and then he gets a touch of his own. This seems to be safer, certainly, than trying to put pressure on directly on the march. So while it's not strictly a winning strategy, it's definitely not as losing a strategy as was happening before. Here, when he finds himself in the same situation again, Carlos Llavador employs a strategy which uses the lessons learned from all of the previous encounters with this march. You can see, first of all, he puts up the pointed line. This is more believable due to the pointed line touch that he landed earlier. But you can see as he fades back, which is his new solution to this problem, to sort of draw back and attempt to pull it short, as he goes back, he keeps going from point in line to withdrawing the arm. This is due to the fact that before this, Choi had finished when he saw that the point in line was withdrawn, and this was also how he pulled him short the previous time. Point in line, withdraw, point in line, withdraw, trying to get the finish. With a bit of patience and working his way backwards, this eventually works, as we can see below. The thing is that though he pulled Choi short, Carlos Llavador's attacks really haven't been helping him that much this bout, as most of the touches that Choi got have been from counterattacks off screen that we haven't looked at. And so, as you can see here, Choi hits him with a counterattack and wins the bout out for him. But it wasn't Choi's counterattack that really won the bout, it was Choi's attack. Because Carlos Llavador couldn't really get points on the defense from Choi's attack, it meant he was forced to try and gain points on the offense, which allowed Choi's counterattack to win the bout for him. And so in this way, Choi's very solid attack let him use his counterattacks to win. If you look, here are all of Choi's counterattacks throughout the bout. Alright, that's all. I hope you enjoyed the tactical breakdown. If you did, drop a like, drop a sub, and please comment your thoughts below. I'm curious to hear what you think. I'll see you in the next one, guys.